It's a celebration at Fenway Park today. It's also the finale of the Sox three-game series with the Kansas City Royals. About 13 and a half hours after the Sox won another extra inning game, they will go for the series win. Dave O'Brien alongside the 2013 champion Johnny Gomes. Johnny, great to have you back at the booth on a glorious day here at Fenway Park and a terrific ceremony. Very, very touching at the end there because Alexis sung the national anthem, and it clearly touched her dad, Michael, who will be with us in the third inning.
Yeah, as a proud dad myself with 3 kids, it's somewhat of a tearjerker.
And, of course, David Ortiz here today. Big Papi will be joining us in the second inning. We'll be talking about the 2007 World Series champs. I mean, it just ran the table. That was such a great collection of talent and timing and guys having outstanding years. Big Papi drove in 117 runs that year.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably all the way till now the hangover that Colorado had from that butt kicking they had, to tell you the truth.
I think you might be right. We'll be back with the first pitch. All sorts of sunshine and blue sky today. Red Sox trying to make it 2 in a row over the Kansas City Royals. Back with that first pitch in just a moment. Is brought to you by Toyota's website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger program. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Ford Trucks built Ford Tough, the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Sox and the Royals about to finish up this 3-game series. Drew Pomeranz on the bump today, trying to get the Red Sox the series win. Tampa Bay and the Yankees are now in the second inning with Tampa Bay on top 1-0. Here's a look at the Royal lineup brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Merrifield leads it off. Bonifacio will follow Kane in center. Hosmer at first. Perez is playing today, but he's the DH. Escobar the shortstop. Gordon in left. Torres at third base. And Butera doing the catching and batting ninth. Taking on a Red Sox starter presented by New England Audi dealers. Pomeranz 10-4. And today making the 100th start of his major league career.
It's Junior Announcer Day. Here's Gabe from Southington, Connecticut here with the Red Sox defense, brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
Thanks, Mr. Gomes. Here's today's Red Sox defense. Rafael Devers is at third. Sander Bogarts at shortstop. Eduardo Nunez at second. And at first is Mitch Moreland. Andrew Benintendi is in left field. Jackie Bradley Jr. in center. Mookie Betts is in right field. And Christian Vasquez is doing the catching for Drew Pomeranz.
And set for the first pitch from Pomeranz to Merrifield. And it is going to be downstairs for ball 1, and we're underway.
There's some champs in the house. There are some champs in the house today.
Sure are. A few of the multiple champs. And among those, Dustin Pedroia not in the lineup today, still out with that ailing knee. We're going to have Big Papi with us and Mike Lowell with us today. Looking forward to those visits here in the booth. Merrifield hitting right at 300. Big night last night with 4 hits. What a finish to that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Tough time getting that guy out. Tough guy getting him out last night.
Devers manning third, Nunez at second base as the Sox look for a second straight win. 2-2. Some slide by Sandy Leon. In the 10th inning, yet another extra inning win for the Red Sox. They're now 9-3 in extra inning games. And he popped him up. Looking up into the sun, Xander Bogaerts. It might be a bit of a factor here today. And the wind as well, which is blowing out toward left at the moment. And here's how it ended. Play at the plate. And a nimble Sandy Leon dancing around that tag by Butera. That's a heck of a play.
Yeah, you said it. Who said catchers aren't athletic? I bet the champ Veritek would be very, very proud of the boys last night.
One out for Bonifacio. Steps in hitting .263. Well, Nunez getting involved in the victory with that ground ball that drove in the game-winning run. He picked up an RBI on that play. He hit 2 home runs.
He was all over the field last night. All over the place.
And as you said, Red Sox catchers had their fingerprints all over it. Not only offensively, but defensively.
Defensively, those two big throws, obviously, and then we're going to tap it off with the most athletic. I don't know if that was a slide or a dive or what it was, but
a dance.
Yes.
It reminded me quite a bit of what Dustin Pedroia did against the Rays last year in September during the long winning streak. That incredible Fred Astaire that he did around home plate to score.
Yeah, it's actually a unique situation, and you might see more of it as we keep going on with the Buster Posey contact rule at home plate, to where you can't take him out anymore. I mean, that play's lost, so you have the opportunity to get athletic and do some strange things to get safe.
Swing and a miss to strike him out. Vasquez completes it with the toss, and they're 2 out. With Kane coming up. Now, you make a great point, because a couple of years ago, you probably would have had the catcher planted at home plate, blocking the lane, which was legal then. And I remember all the times when Jason Veritek did it, and no one wanted any part of running into him.
That is a fact. That guy pinned me one time here with the old Devil Rays one time. I still owe him a shimmy to his chest. If I see him here, I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he spun me one time way back in the day. But that's how it was. Rounding third, get your lane, and you're going to slide feet first, or you're going to run the catcher out. That's how we were taught. And then it was just flipped all in that one collision play with Buster Posey.
Kane at .270 with 12 homers. Bases empty, 2 down, just getting started here on a glorious Sunday afternoon at Fenway. And a base hit to right. It's a 2-out single. We check the umpires. They're brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Nick Lentz at the plate, Adam Hamari at first. It's Bill Miller at second, Todd Titchener at third base. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit Compare2Toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV.
I'll tell you what, you got to hit it. There's no such thing as a cheap homer, but Canes last night?
Oh.
Was that cheap? Or, I mean, wow.
You make a great point, because I hate to use the phrase.
Sure.
Because it's a major league home run, and it was a 3-run homer. And here it is to the pesky pole, but it was 302 feet.
I think that record and maybe Cal Ripken's record will never get beat. Those two. The shortest homer and Cal streak.
You cannot hit a shorter one in baseball. And he had a 3-run shot. And at the time, it hurt the Red Sox. Sox were down by scores of 4-2 and 8-6 and rallied to win the game. Despite the home run by Kane, Hosmer 320, 16 home runs. He was the man who fired home to try and get Sandy Leon at the buzzer last night, but Sandy beat it, and that's in there for a strike.
Yeah, majority of the time when you see a play like that, actually, it really brought me back to the World Series when Haas came home with a play that ground ball to David Wright, and then Haas came home with the head first slide, and it was just a bad throw from Duda. Majority of the time, that's what you see is a bad throw, but Haas made a great throw right there, but Sandy Leon just turned into the most athletic guy on the field.
Boy, did he go for it there, and down he goes on strikes. 2 Ks for Pomerantz. 1 man left. Red Sox coming up in the first. Thanks. Red Sox today. Here's Jack from Bridgewater, Mass. with the Red Sox lineup brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
Thanks, Mr. O'Brien. Here's today's Red Sox lineup. Leading off in right field, Mookie Betts. At second base, Eduardo Nunez. In left field, Andrew Benintendi. The designated hitter, Hanley Ramirez. In center field, Jackie Bradley Jr. The shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. At first base, Mitch Moreland. The catcher, Christian Vasquez. At third base, Rafael Devers.
Jack, thank you very much. Leadoff man Mookie Betts, 270 with 17 home runs. He'll be followed by Nunez and then Benintendi, taking on a right hitter Jason Hamill. He's 4-8, ERA 4.81, and has scuffled on the road this season. Just 1-4, earned run average over 5. Sox come into play today, a half game behind the Yankees, and 4.5 are the Tampa Bay Rays behind New York. Yankees have been one of the hotter teams in baseball to rip off 6 consecutive wins. And a chopper up the middle. Merrifield crosses body, got him.
And here we go with the defense for the Kansas City Royals. A new look at third base. No Moose. We got Torres. Escobar at short. Made a great play, but was the play that ended the game. Merrifield had a tough time getting out last night. Hosmer obviously holding down first base every single night. And in the outfield, Gordon again flashing those 4 Gold Gloves. Kane holding it down. Bonifacio had a tough night last night. Here we go. Hamels and Butera, who came in late in the game last night. One of the 4 catchers we saw last night.
That's right. Everybody got in the game with the catcher's gear on. As Nunez climbs in, Eduardo had himself a fine night with a pair of home runs. Had the game-winning RBI in extra innings. He has made a fine impression.
Sometimes that's ideal. You hit 2 home runs, sleep fast, right back in the box 13 hours later.
Fouled right off the catcher's mask. Here's a look at the home run swings.
And these were it. I mean, this is about as pro as it gets when a pitcher makes a mistake. Pitcher makes a mistake, sometimes you foul it straight back. You see the ha, this, that. He did not foul either one of them back. He knew right off the bat. Loud contact to the people, like I say, to the people.
6-game hitting streak for the new acquisition from the Giants.
Something to take a look on Jason Hamill, what he's done in the past. He's kind of found something like right here, the windup. He's going with a no windup, almost a a stretch with no one on. This is a what you would see with someone on base, and you've seen guys talk about how the windup is a wasted movement, so might as well just go with the stretch the whole time. And you see him right here going right from the stretch with no windup. The big glove, ball over the head, the big windup, and just going right from the stretch, keeping it simple.
I think that and how shifting has affected how hitters swing the bat are 2 of the major changes in baseball that we've seen stylistically in the last couple of years. Escobar fires on to get him. 2 up and 2 down. And Benintendi next. You think about, from a hitting perspective, and you did it too, looking to launch, looking to hit under the ball to beat that shift. Guys don't want to ground out into the shift.
No, they don't. And one of the big shift beaters that I've seen was this guy in the 2007-13 Oahuas, David Ortiz. How did he beat the shift? Hit it over the fence. And I tell you what, it really says a lot about David Ortiz, because that shift did kill a lot of the veterans. There's a lot of guys that got a lot of hits, and then once they moved that third baseman over to the left side, it killed it, and he survived the shift era.
And Big Papi had a lot of hits taken away because of that. But in the end, you make a good point. It did not affect David as drastically as some guys. It ended some guys' careers.
No, ended their careers. I mean, you saw some of the biggest frustrations, head down, just baffled of where for 15 years that ball was a hit, and then all of a sudden that ball was an out. And for David to make that adjustment on the fly, in season, late in his career, obviously his numbers speak for themselves when he walked out of the door.
Benintendi trying to hold up with a swing and a miss, hitting .265 with 12 homers. Andy Ramirez on deck, scoreless here in the first inning after watching the ceremony to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the 2007 World Series champs here. Brought back some terrific memories. And a little slap up the first baseline. It's going to be a fair ball, and Hosmer will set down Benintendi, and the Red Sox go 1-2-3. No score after 1. That is the voice, the unmistakable sound of Big Papi, David Ortiz, joining us here in the broadcast booth just off the field after a really nice ceremony to celebrate the 07 championship. And Big Papi part of all three of those. And David, great to see you back again. Wonderful ovation for you as you came out.
Hey, thank you, man. Good seeing you guys too. Good seeing my boy Johnny, man.
Yeah, buddy.
I've been watching him all this day. He looked good. He looked good, man. He looked great.
How's he doing with this stuff?
Oh, he's doing awesome. Awesome.
He's enjoying it. He's enjoying it. But he's looking forward to seeing you.
He looked like it. He looked like it. You know, and everything he say about the game. You know, I saw him and Jim talking about the left field wall. You know, who better than them to describe, you know, what's going on out there.
Perez on with a base hit to begin the second inning. When you think about 07, and you've got so many championship memories, but when you think about that team, I mean, that was a wire-to-wire ball club. What comes back?
Well, it was like, what can I say? It was like pretty much a little bit of taste of what happened in 2004. Let's put it this way. We won a championship in 2004, and then 05 we went to the playoff. 06 we finished third in the division. Like, you know, when an organization like this one walk into the playoff, the fans just get used to that taste. You know what I'm saying? I remember I had a really good season in 06, but who cares? I mean, we finished 4, so I pretty much sit down with Theo Estein, who was the GM at the time, and I told him, hey, we can go down that road again next year, so we need to do something, put a ball club together that can, you know, be out there.
Pomeranz will get him at first base, and it's Perez down to second as the left-hander got off the mound in pretty good shape to retire Escobar. One away.
That was a nice play right there, by the way.
That was a good play by the pitcher, Drew Pomeranz. But how about the kid who came in? Have you had an opportunity to see this kid, Devers, at third base?
Man, I'm telling you, I mean, how could you have that many tools at that age? You just, turned
20.
Come on, man.
20. I checked into rookie ball at 20. This guy's hitting balls dead center in Seattle at 20.
I'm serious, man. That's how much the game had changed, you know what I'm saying? And having young talent like that and, you know, performing at this level is something that is very special. So like I was saying, you know, we pretty much Theo brought a really good ball club together for the following season, and that's how we can be champions.
You drove in 117 runs on that ball club, and it was such a nice mix. We're watching certain guys come out. You know, Okie comes out, gets a great hand, and you remember some of the guys who contributed to that team. You had the rock solid guys like you and Dustin Pedroia and, you know, a handful of other guys, but nice mix on the pitching and the offensive side. It just all came together very fluidly, didn't it?
Well, I realized that to win championship, you gotta be you need to have a little bit of everything. If you put a team together just jam packed of superstar, you're not gonna win. I guarantee you that you're not gonna win. I don't know what is the mystery behind that, but I have seen ball club jam packed with superstar, and at the end of the season, it's all over the place. But when you have a little bit the guy that moved the run it over, when you have the guy that played a good defense, when you have the guy that come and pinch hit, when you have the guys who throw the good inning, the bullpen functioning, the good starting pitching, it's a little bit of everything. Same thing with the 2013 ball club. You know, you don't have that many superstars, but you have a little bit of everything. So that guarantees you a lot.
How about the one guy who's still active, and old Dustin Pedroia out there still wearing cleats? Tell us about, like, 2007 is probably, you know, about the first look of Dustin. Here comes this kid, 5'5", up to your waist, playing second, dirty, pine tar everywhere. Were you like, what? Who's this kid?
Well, the two of us, we play with Dustin.
Yeah.
My little guy, I got him a little guy, he bring a lot to the table. Like, you know, I've been seeing this little leadership talk around town, and I don't even know how people try to describe that watching from the outside. When you go inside the clubhouse and you bump into a guy like Dustin Pedroia, you know that leadership is not your problem. Because Dustin, the way he functioned, the way he bring everybody together, his body language when he's getting prepared to play the game is more than just a leadership. So I'm not worried about that part when it comes down to the ball club. Dustin is the one guy that I can tell you I can sit out to watch the game every night just to watch the way he handles the business.
What's the key to this club, Poppy, in your opinion, is one people want to hear? This particular team, as you said, half game out, still really haven't gotten on a really long winning streak of 18 out of 22, something like that.
I think they need just to focus on going out there and do what they know what to do, and forget about all the negativity that comes around, because that's how this ball club has been built up. If you don't hear negative stuff coming out, it seems like there's some people that they won't be able to be happy through the season. So as a player, we need to understand that and just learn how to turn the page and just move on, basically. I think that's a really good ball club. Now by the deadline, I don't mind to get a little bit of help. Maybe get a big bat, Thunder in the middle of the lineup who can, give us a little bit extra power. And I think the bullpen is awesome. I think the starting pitching is awesome. I don't care right now until this point how my boy Porcello numbers look like. I cared about what I saw the other night, the way he was executing. It wasn't even a mistake, the ball that Mustaka hit out. It was an inside pitch.
Yep.
But yeah, okay.
We'll keep Big Poppy for another half inning. Fortunate to have David with us. No score on this one after an inning and a half. Hall of Famer comes by in the booth. We get lobster rolls only for Big Poppy when he shows up as Hanley scalds a single into center field to begin the second inning.
El 13.
That's your boy.
I told him that I was going to watch the game to see where the ball's going to land at. It's going deep for me today, people.
He likes facing Hamill. He's now 8 for 17 against him after that base hit, and sends up Jackie Bradley. Well, David, I remember switching gears to the 2013 World Series championship team. It's interesting what you were saying about Rick Porcello. I remember early in the 13 season, you went up in front of everybody and said, this pitching staff is going to finish high at the end of the season, because there were some scuffles early. But you said everyone needs to kind of get off their back because they're going to come around And it did. It finished in the top 5 in ERA by the end of the season. That's real leadership. That's the kind of thing you were kind of talking about, focusing on what needs to be done at the right time.
Definitely. You know, when you get to this point during the season where you are where you at, and the way the team is playing and the way that you want to execute, you want to worry about the little things that are happening through the game. But after that, man, you know, like, you walking into the dog days, you know what I'm saying? And that ball club already had dog days in July, because I saw this one 4-game stretch where they play, what, 54 innings, 58?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I don't remember doing that during my whole career. So they handled real well. Now, you know, this is a little refreshing. They probably get a little bit of help coming into the ball club. All you got to look at is and focus on is the board over there to see where the standing is at every day that you go through a game. You get through a game and just go from there, man. You know, like you have no time right now for the little BS. I can tell you that right now. There's no time for that. It's time to execute it and be ready to walk into the playoff. That's all.
Boy, is that well
and I
said.
think they have the right ball club to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't agree anymore. I mean, we're talking about big trades, but how about a big trade like Hanley hitting 15 home runs from now till the end, Pedroia picking it up, you know, Jackie picking it up. I mean, sometimes the best trades within.
Exactly. That's another thing. I was in the cage, in the batting cage with some of my boys. We were just talking right now, and basically what I was saying was just focus on this next 2 months. You have no idea how many players I saw pulling the season together in a month and a half.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of baseball left. You know what I'm saying? And this is the point that you would like to see yourself lined up on the standing where they at right now. Now, when you focus on where they at right now and how much time you got left for the season to be over and walk into the playoff, you don't have to worry about everything. You worry about the little things that help you to win ball game.
Xander Bogaerts, 283 with 6 home runs, 2 for 4 against Hamill as we chat with the one and only Big Papi. And I think a lot of ears perked up when you said, I was in the batting cage, you know, earlier today. A lot of folks said, wait a minute, what does that mean? David's in the batting cage. Well, you were doing a little, you know, work with guys or saying hello to guys and checking in on the guys, you know, your former teammates. But I want to ask you about your feet and how your feet are feeling right now.
Oh, they're fresh now. They've been doing a lot of dancing lately.
I mean, people don't realize the agony you were in at times during that last season in particular. It was amazing at times you were able to play, watching all the treatment you got before games.
It's crazy how that worked. But, you know, mentally, the mindset in baseball, Johnny can tell you about it. It doesn't matter how good you feel physically.
It's going to drop down, get by Kane.
Go.
Yeah. Hanley into third.
That's what's up. Yeah, guy, we got to score at least 1 before I get out of here.
Yeah. We'll score 10, keep you here for an hour.
Oh,
yeah, buddy.
So, you know, the mindset to play the game, I think it go beyond everything. And basically, we were coming out of the tunnel, but I have like 10, 15 minutes out there where I was talking to some of my boys about what you need to worry about at this point of the season. And they were laughing. They were smiling because, you know, I mean, you know how the game goes, you know. I mean, it's like the military. You know, they as a player, we give respect to whoever has played the longest, you know what I'm saying? And I try not to put a lot of things in their mind. You guys are good. You guys are in good shape. So why we got to worry about what the team in last play had to worry about? You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Right. Look at that. Boy. Sexy. Keep going. Come on, Bogey. Get there, Bogey. Come on. Yeah. Yeah!
Yeah! Them boys are hungry.
I'm back.
That's championship caliber baseball right there.
That's what's up.
Mitch Moreland with the RBI.
I'm gonna have to come around more often.
Yes. Red Sox ahead 1-0 on a base hit, third hit of the inning.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you what, this is one of the first guys ever, we're talking about the batting cage. The batting cage is, we bring our lunch down to the batting cage. We bring our dinner down to the batting cage.
We bring our family to the batting cage.
Family. That's our little nest, right there. But then you talk about the work you get in the batting cage. But this guy was one of the ones that just drove home. It's not where your hands are. It's not where your feet are. It's knowing what's coming, how to set up a pitcher. The mental side of it. I don't care how you get to the ball, top hand release, this hand, but knowing what's coming, know why it's coming, and the mental side of it, and what I call it was just next level stuff. I talk about setting up a pitcher. And this guy was one of the best of them. And I talk about the Rolodex in your head where he can pull a card out that was 2 years old. This guy's been sitting on the pitch for 2 years.
Well, I remember Game 2 of the ALCS against the Tigers in that regard very, very vividly, and where that baseball went.
It's all about your memory, man. I mean, it's like my father always say, once you lose your memory, you're in trouble.
Yeah, no doubt.
But, man, this is a wonderful game. I have so much fun while I play. I have some unbelievable teammates. So let me tell you a true story about my man right here. Johnny, sometimes when you are in the mix, you don't realize the things that you do to get better. And not just you get better, everybody around you get better. Like I remember some days that Johnny was out there just talking, and you can, like the whole squad in the outfield, who was younger guys, they were just paying attention to what Johnny had to say. Johnny mentality was like a trooper mentality, like a no doubt kind of type of. Vámonos! Vámonos! I'm getting too excited up here, man.
3 consecutive hits.
He was getting on me the other night.
I'm getting too excited.
We had a foul homer, and I jumped out of my seat. I said, I'm still living and dying every pitch.
Oh, man, I don't know if I can do this for 9 innings.
No, this really takes us inside the dugout, though, and what you guys were both like when the game was going on, right?
Yeah, it brings some serious memories.
Vasquez driving in the run. He continues to swing the stick.
There's a single for the cycle.
That's right.
That he needed last night. He almost hit for the cycle last night.
One short.
My goodness.
So Red Sox on top 2-0, and that'll bring on the kid, Rafael Devers, 294 with a home run and 2 runs batted in. Do you love his swing?
I love his swing. Got a super nice swing. I was talking to him early today. I'm at some point I'm gonna start, working with the organization, and I wanna be able to talk to him more often, and make sure that he's aware of what is coming up, because this kid gonna be here for a while.
Into a double play there to end it. Poppy, great visiting with you.
My pleasure.
Thanks so much.
My boy.
Future Hall of Famer David Ortiz in the booth and bringing the Sox a couple of runs here, 2-0 over Kansas City. Sox moment honoring the 07 World Championship season. Game number 106. The Red Sox would lose 5-3 to Baltimore. Eric Bedard got the win. David Ortiz paced the Sox offense with home runs number 17 and 18. Red Sox, of course, going on to win the World Championship, largely thanks to our next guest, who was the MVP of the World Series, and that is Mike Lowell. Mikey, always great to see you.
Thank you, sir. Always great to be here.
And you threw out the ceremonial first pitch, and you fired it in there.
You know, I told Tech, I haven't warmed up. I haven't done anything. I go, I'm going to throw it hard. I mean, it was probably like 48, but that's hard for me now. I just didn't want to short hop it. So he was like, I'm not sure. I'll squat, but I don't know if I can get up. I said, well, if I get in the air, I'll help you get up. So we'll be all right.
Whatever you do, don't bounce it, right?
That's right. That's right. I figured at worst, I'll throw it over his head.
Yeah, that was a beautiful thing, too. I mean, heck of a ball player, but I tell you what, passing the torch in that national anthem today.
Johnny,
I mean, as a proud dad myself, the two songs I taught my kids, God Bless America and the national anthem. And how about that?
And you know what? In my head, you've heard so many people mess up the song, you know, mix up the words, this, and I understand people get nervous. So I was just like, I was nervous for her. You know, I said I'd rather face Craig Kimball right now than that, but it worked out good. And
what a moment!
It was special. I'm glad she did a good job. And
she's adorable, and she's a terrific singer. And were you as touched as you appeared?
I think I was more nervous, and then towards the end I got emotional because it was nice, you know. Things.
High deep drive, but foul off the bat of Merrifield.
I think there were a couple tears of relief, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I couldn't turn around and look at her because my parents were on the field there. My wife was as well. My dad cries for everything. I mean, there's French fries in front of us.
Yeah.
He'll cry with these French fries.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to look at him because I knew he's crying. So I didn't want to tear up. So I just was looking up at the jumbotron. And then at the end, I kind of turned around because I knew. All right, we finished off, and
you've heard her sing a million times, but you know, you're talking about 35,000 people.
Yeah, but yes and no, Dave. To be honest with you, I compare it to my son's baseball practice. You go see him. Well, you see if he's getting worse or getting better. But with the singing, I drop my daughter off. They close the door. I pick her up when it's over.
Oh yeah.
So they had a production, and it was 2 days. So I think in the last 8 months, I've seen her sing 3 times because she won't do it at home either. She doesn't like to sing in front of us. I'm like, what are you working on? And she's like, we're doing it at the studio. So I was like, man, you better know the words. That's what I told you. You got to know the words.
She nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Hit the high notes. Crowd loved it. It was just perfect.
I was happy. I was happy with the way it turned out. It was a nice moment.
3-2 to Merrifield. Man, a routine ground ball for out number 2. When you recall 07, what comes to mind?
I thought we were really balanced. You know, even looking at the guys that showed up, and we had a little get-together last night. A lot of bullpen guys were there, and you see Mike Timlin, Okajima, Javi Lopez, you know, Manny Del Carmen. I said, wow, man, we actually could match up with a lot of guys late in the inning. Obviously, Pap, you know, on the back end. But I was like, we had hard throws. You know, Timlin was a cutter guy. Pap had the split. Okie had another split from the left side. Javi Lopez threw from down below. So, you know, that I think the bullpens nowadays, actually the Royals, I think, are the ones that basically started that 3-headed monster. We kind of had a poor man's version of that going into that. We could match up with a lot of different type of hitters. And then when I look offensively, you know, we had plus speed. We had veteran guys. We had young guys. Guys just got on base. We really could lengthen the lineup. You know, you look back and you say, wow, Tech, Julio Lugo, I think drove in 90 runs a year. And Jacoby was hitting 9th in the World Series. You know, it was pretty deep, and you know, you can wear teams out, and we got into a lot of bullpens pretty early.
Slap to the right side, and a very fast inning for Pomerantz, and too fast for Mikey Lowell. I know you're on your way, but Mike, great to see you again.
Thank
congratulations
you,
on a wonderful ceremony.
It.
Beautiful,
Johnny.
buddy.
Always
Beautiful.
good.
Your daughter was amazing today. Red Sox on top 2-0 on a beautiful day in more ways than one here at Fenway Park. Cole, would you mind taking these out of our way? Last half of the third, Sox ahead 2-0 on the Kansas City Royals. And Mookie Betts up for the second time. So much fun visiting with two of the all-time greats there, and Big Papi and Mike Lowell. It brings back so many memories.
Both those guys are just such icons, and they got so much going on. They're celebrating the 07 World Series. They're meeting, greeting. Lowe's got his daughter singing the anthem. Papi's probably signing autographs, taking pictures. But for those guys to take the opportunity to come up here and sit in the booth.
That's terrific.
And know who they're talking to, know who they're watching. At the end of the day, they just love talking the game.
And both get so animated watching the current group of guys in the uniforms they once wore. I mean, David's coming out of his seat while the Red Sox are rallying.
He's living and dying, man. I mean, you talk about these guys just true Red Sox, and they're going to be watching this team forever.
1-2 to Betts. And a cut and a miss for strike 3, dug out by Butera. And a strikeout. So Mookie 0 for 2. Ace Ticket is Boston's trusted source for Red Sox tickets, from bleachers to boxes. Ace has the lowest prices to games at Fenway. Treat yourself for someone special with tickets to a game. Visit aceticket.com now or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. This Royal Club has made a trade. They announced today they have acquired Melky Cabrera, the outfielder, from the White Sox in exchange for a couple of minor league pitchers. Cabrera now 32. He's hitting .288 with 13 homers and 56 RBIs.
Yeah, interesting move. Kind of fits into what they got going on right here. I didn't know they needed the help. I mean, if he's going to DH, I guess Brandon Moss struggling a little bit, but he's left-handed. Milky switch. But down the stretch, it's all about depth.
Yep, and they're going for it. Had a 9-game winning streak snapped by the Red Sox last night. We're hearing a lot of rumors about who might be traded, including Yu Darvish and Sonny Gray among the starting pitchers who may be up for grabs.
Yeah, and I mean, Milky Cabrera, whatever, good addition, but there's got to be some sleepers out there. I mean, if Sonny Gray pops up on the Royals, if Yu Darvish pops up on the Royals, they can absolutely. Wow, that's both those arms. Obviously, Sonny with a little bit of control, 3 years, I think, maybe 4. Yu's going to be a rental, but that's a heck of a rental arm.
Yeah, I always thought, in recent games that one is torched foul by Nunez, that a change of scenery would do Gray a lot of good. Do you agree?
I played with him. I mean, this guy, Vanderbilt guy, real good, educated, little work guy, goes about his business, this and that, polite. But when he puts that uni on and steps on the rubber, wow. I mean, wow, what a competitor. He was one of the guys that really blew my socks off watching him.
Nunez dancing, but he gets hit. Tried to get out of the way, but it got him anyway. So Eduardo is on. Got the uni. Got the shirt. So the Sox have a base runner here in the 3rd inning. And that'll send up Benintendi.
Yeah, with that trade deadline, I mean, unique situation there. You look up at the board, there's only a couple teams not in the race. I mean, 2012 Oakland Athletics, I think we were about 12 and a half, 14 back mid-August, and we came back and won the division. With that double wild card, everyone's in it. And if you're selling this time of year, that's tough. With the double wild card, it's tough. So there's a lot of buyers out there, which is going to drive that price up.
Will the Red Sox be active at tomorrow's deadline, looking to add? Benintendi is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Dave Dombrowski with a history of impactful moves at the deadline, big trades. So you know he's going to be very busy.
Yeah, it's interesting to look back at the trades. You know, this good trade, that bad trade. What would have happened if this didn't do this. But you talk about Miguel Cabrera is not a Tiger. He was traded for. And then you go Dontrelle Willis, how that worked out or how it didn't work out. But Miguel Cabrera, to get Miguel Cabrera at such a young age was, wow, what a move. What a move by Dombrowski. That's a heck of a notch on his belt. Traded for Price. Traded for Cespedes. He makes flashes.
Red Sox starting play today, half game behind the Yankees.
Traded for Chris Sale. How'd that work out?
So far, pretty good. Leading everybody and everything in pitching, and in there for a called strike.
What a weapon. You know, I can't really remember it really playing with a guy or even watching to where you're literally counting down the days. When's he going to pitch again? And he pitches, and it's as advertised. 10 punchies, 7-8 innings, no runs.
Exceeding expectations, which this day and age, with all the coverage, all the media attention, is almost impossible to do. But he exceeds it when he goes out there. He sets such a high bar right away.
Yeah, he does. And I mean, you got Drew Pomeranz coming in left-handed just like him. I know they're pounding their reports together, and he's such an asset for the whole rotation. I mean, you could sit and watch him pitch and just learn so much. How he competes, how he challenges, how he doesn't shake the catcher, because it doesn't matter what's coming. It's all about location. Never going to complain about, oh, he shouldn't have thrown a curveball. Oh, he shouldn't have thrown a curveball down the middle. The location, everything's there.
1-2. Big cut by Benintendi. Think Energy, powering Fenway, and the smart choice to power your home. Visit thinkenergy.com to enroll today. When you listen to David Ortiz, you get the feeling from Big Papi's perspective that the Red Sox, in his opinion, don't necessarily have to go out and get a big home run bat. He thinks this collection of guys needs to get rolling and stringing hits together like the Red Sox did to get a couple of runs in the second inning.
Yeah, I couldn't agree anymore. Sometimes the best trades are within. And where does you go right away? The mental state of the team. Stop paying attention to this. Stop paying attention to this. When you walk out of that tunnel, look up on that board. You're either in first, or today you're a half game back. When you were leaving Fort Myers, if you would have put this date out on the line, say you're a half game out of first place, would you take it? And you would. So let's not be upset about it. And probably one of the biggest meetings I've ever had in my whole life was in the dugout in Game 4 when this guy rallied the troops. And then here he is, not even in uni, rallying the troops.
I remember a gentleman stepped up to the plate just minutes after that and smoked a huge home run. A gentleman by the name of Johnny Gomes.
That was it. Following his lead, man. I mean, literally like staring in his eyes, and he's staring back at you, and he's like looking through you. I mean, the presence that this guy brought, mind-blowing.
Runner goes. Foul tip to the mitt. Throw down on the wrong side of the bag. So stolen base for Nunez on the swing and the miss. And they're a 2 away, but a man in scoring position.
It's tough to steal a bag in big leagues, obviously, but that was so easy for him. He made that look so easy. He was safe by a mile.
Well, there's no doubt this is a National League style game that Nunez brings. And 19 stolen bases now. Showing some power last night with 2 home runs. And that'll bring up Hanley. Ramirez 1 for 1 with base hits. Started the rally in the second inning with a sharp single. 2 down.
Yeah, I think we were kind of all in awe talking to David and talking to Mike, but that second inning, man, them boys came out swinging. There's a lot of good stuff. My man Mitch Moreland getting that hit at him, clicked a pick last night with the big fly ball to center and that nice walk. I saw it coming. Comes out, boom, RBI knock right out of the gate. The guy's taking the extra base on the backside.
The base hits by Ramirez, Bogarts, Moreland, and Vasquez in that inning. You know, probably to the point where we all have to say, both the media and Red Sox fans around the country, that that's the way this club is going to score. We're approaching August. I don't expect that to change and all of a sudden start hitting balls out of every ballpark like previous Red Sox teams may have done. It's not how this team is going to score.
No, yeah, and you don't need home runs. Home runs are, you know, it's awesome, and that's kind of what generates the game right now is the long ball. But I think the Royals have about 20 or 30 more home runs on the season, but yet we have about 40 more runs scored on the season. So what the name of the game is touching the dish, and it doesn't matter how you touch the dish. Like that run that was generated last night for the walk-off. We generated a run with a ground ball to first base.
And a savvy slide, if you call that a slide, by Sandy Leon. I think it was a move more than a slide. He put a move on the catcher, Butera, and scampered in with the game-winning run in the 10th inning. 2-2. Tried to hold up. Did he offer? No, he did not. 3-2. So a full count on Hanley Ramirez, who likes to face this guy, Hamill. 8 for 17 off him with a home run, so he sees him well. Certainly has in the past.
A lot going on. He likes to face Hamels, and I'm sure he loves talking to David Ortiz.
Nunez at second. And down he goes. Strike 3, so that'll do it for the Red Sox. One man left. Still 2-0 Boston. $15 and $16 for coverage of the WEEI Ness and Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon, presented by our Bella Insurance Foundation. Our Bella Insurance Foundation here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. Sox on top 2-0. We move on to the 4th inning. Johnny Gomes, Dave O'Brien with you. Pomeranz has been sharp. Today making his 100th career start. No decision his last time out, which was a 6-5 Red Sox loss at Seattle. That one hit over the wall, rising up and off the monster, right back to Benintendi. Plays it very smoothly.
That fires me up. That fires me up. Ball didn't even hit the ground. From home plate to his glove, and it didn't even hit the ground. Jim Rice would be proud. Where's Jim? Jim's jumping out of his seat right now.
I think Yaz is too.
Wow. Fires me up right there. See, that was the thing too, as a as an outfielder. When you got that, that's 100% a double, maybe a homer. You leave him at first right there. You just picked up the pitcher. Now hopefully he picks you up. You get a double play right here. Strike out, punch out. He stays at first a whole inning. It's such a home field advantage here. No one on the visiting side can do that play, hands down. No one.
Last couple of days, if you had never been to a game at Fenway Park, and you saw last night, you saw today, you saw the home run inside the pesky pole, and you saw that shot by Kane, which wound up a single. Ground ball to right field and a single for Hosmer. Kane down to second and stopping there. I mean, you'd really get an idea of the quirkiness of this ballpark up close and personal.
Yeah, if you didn't know much about the game, you would be extremely confused. A 360-foot single, and then over here we got a 302-foot home run.
Now Hosmer continues his hot streak, 5 in a row, and now Pomeranz suddenly in some difficulty. First and second, nobody out, and another hot guy in the DH Perez, who singled his first time up. So the left-hander needing a ground ball right at somebody. Hits are now even at 4.
Drew's done a great job of just bearing down in situations like this. Seems like sometimes he's kind of going through the motions, but that's what really good starters do. Really good pitchers is there's pitching and there's situational pitching. Obviously, we've got a situation on our hands right now, and hopefully he bears down.
Raptor at third base. Devers to second, one on to first, and a double play. Kane down to third, but now 2 away.
That's bearing down right there. That's just making your pitches, location, everything. Now that was the double play guy right there. I think this is his 16th double play on the season.
5-4-3. Nunez with the turn down at second base. I'll send up Escobar, who tried to bunt in the second inning, got it down. It was thrown out at first. Red Sox ahead 2-0. One thing that Pomeranz has done today is stay away from ball 4, because his last 4 starts, that's been a real issue for him. He's walked 16 men his last 4 times out. By comparison, Chris Sale 27 walks all season, but today he has not walked anybody.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the name of the game is pounding the strike zone, and
line shot to right. That's going to bring in a run down the corner near the pole. Mookie Betts a little bobbled there, but he was into second base anyway. Run scoring double by Escobar, and that'll make it a 2-1 game as Kansas City is on the board. RBI for Escobar, his 35th.
Yeah, there's certain pitchers, I mean, with just the stuff. I mean, Drew's curveball with the spin rate, the spike curve, overhand. You don't see too many of them going on right now, and you almost just want to tell your stuff plays. And this guy he can just live north and south on the middle of the plate. He can elevate, bury, and run one right in. He's got the stuff that you almost don't have to live on the edges. Therefore, you don't have to walk guys. Just continue to pound them. Pounded the zone, got a double play. Hurt him right there on that, but still got the lead. Pitching to the scoreboard.
Yep, 2-1. 5 hits now for Kansas City. Gordon's 0 for 1, fly ball to center field. Gordon, one of the top defensive outfielders in the game. Gold Glover 4 times. You played with him.
Yeah, that's a fact. That guy can absolutely play some left field, and people kind of forget he came up as a third baseman. He was the next George Brett. Here we go, the next George Brett. Kind of struggled. Position change. And then took off. You got a George Brett story? How about that guy?
Oh.
He's about as pro as it gets.
Remember the Pine Tar home run and the look on his face when they erased the home run? It was Tim McClellan, home plate umpire, and the look on his face. We're talking about George Brett. You never want to see that look on another human being. As he came running out of the dugout.
He had one thing on his mind.
And it wasn't kind.
Yeah.
Fierce competitor. I don't know if that covers it. And a 1-2.
You look at some of those numbers retired here, and you know, kind of every organization has their characteristic or the style of play that you kind of follow, and he's every bit a Red Sox. The way he played, his professionalism, his superstar, giving back to the community, this and that, the edge that he showed right there. We saw David Ortiz blast a bullpen phone. You know, you saw Wade Boggs do some action. Jim Rice, you know, he got hot on occasions, you know, but you know, he fits that mold of some of the history here.
I think George Brett, I think he would have played in any market, anywhere, anytime. The Royals got him. He led them to a championship. Later they brought him back as a hitting coach for a while, and he had a big impact on their lineup over a short period of time. 3-2 from Pomerantz with a man at second, and popped out of play. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Lenny will break down Drew Pomerantz's start today. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason?
He obviously has the other ring with the Royals in the '85, you know, World Series. But I remember going there, and boy, was he in the fight with us. Oh, he was living and dying every pitch and wanted these boys to hit and pitch and win. And you go back to 2014, when they lost in Game 7, he was devastated. And it was pretty cool to see the alum of the organization still in the fight.
Yeah, he wore it. George Brett. Those were such athletic Kansas City teams that he was a part of. The steal bases go first to third, and when they rallied, it was a buzzsaw. 3-2, and that one got him. Gordon gets hit by the pitch. That'll put runners at first and second. So it's been a rough inning for Pomerantz after kind of cruising in the first three. 3 hits and now a hit batsman.
Never fun when you get hit with a 3-ball count. It should have been a walk. I didn't need to get a bruise to get on first. You already had 3 balls.
First and second for Torres. First time up, he popped up. Made his major league debut on June 7 and went 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Became the first Royal with a hit from each side of the plate in his debut. In for strike 1.
Nice little change here. I'd, rather face this guy than Moustakas right now, playing third. Glad he gets a day off.
And Moustakas with 30 homers. Here comes the 0-1. And a fastball inside. Just a beautiful day here at Fenway. A celebration of the 2007 World Champions before the game. A lot of them here. And a lot of them remembered. Like Daisuke, for example, remembered with some highlights up on the big board. Fouled away.
He took the lead by storm. I remember what they call the gyro ball or whatever it was, and it was something we've never seen before. The foreign, and here I end up going to Japan and seeing this often, but you'll see a lot of long faces from these strikeouts right here from Daisuke, and all the way from the windup right there, the pause. He was man, what a threat.
Got a real nice hand too was Okajima. It was really nice as he came out. Oki slapped toward third. Devers on a charge, and he gets him to retire the side. So a rocky frame for Pomeranz, but he allows just the 1 run, and it's 2-1 Red Sox. Men's Warehouse National Suit Drive in July. When you make a donation of gently used professional clothing at any Men's Warehouse, you help men and women look their best as they re-enter the workforce. Learn more at nationalsuitdrive.com. Bottom of the 4th inning. Red Sox ahead of Kansas City here 2-1. Jackie Bradley's 0 for 1. Bogart's on deck.
I think I might be able to bring some uniqueness from just being in the arena. But I think being up here and reading these promos that you have to read every single time would lose sponsors if I had to do it. It might cost this channel some money.
I don't really agree with that, Johnny, because I think you have a unique style that could really sell. And I'm not just saying that. I think because your cadence is different, your delivery is going to be different. I think people are very refreshed by it.
I could break down some swings here and there, but you put a piece of paper in front of me, and it'll lock me up. It will lock me up.
That just isn't true. I guess that means you're not going to do any. To the count.
As they slide one next to me, and as I slide it right back to you.
There it is.
They will cancel if I read that.
All right. I'll be happy to do it.
I'll sing Sweet Caroline, the national anthem, but come on.
Fly ball in the direction of Kane in center. So 1 man gone. Well, it's Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend, and 5 new members join the exclusive club. Jeff Bagwell, Tim Raines, Pudge Rodriguez, John Schuerholz, and Bud Selig. Congrats to all of them, as well as the media members Claire Smith and the great Bill King for their induction. NESN analyst Dennis Eckersley and Jim Rice are right there in Cooperstown for today's induction ceremony on a beautiful day.
There is no doubt in my mind that we sat next to a Hall of Famer in David Ortiz.
Yes. Can't argue that.
I mean, you know, this and that, whatever, the DH, and maybe biased because I played with them, maybe biased because, you know, we've watched him forever, but hide the name, cover the name up, and look at the stats.
There's stats, and then there's also when some of those hits were hit, which, you know, in the stratosphere of clutch, it's all time. I mean, who's ever been better than that?
It literally drove the bus. I mean, the 2013, what was his average? It was upward, just under. I think Billy Hatcher actually holds a record for the Cincinnati Reds for highest batting average. I think it was 755 or something. I mean, just under that. But to say that, knowing going into the World Series, do not let David beat you. Do not let David beat you. He was getting maybe one pitch in at bat to drive, and he drove it.
Poppy got into it when the Red Sox rallied to get a couple of runs in the seconds, and Bogaerts was part of that. So he goes down hacking. 2 down. Let's listen in.
You know what I'm saying? Look at that.
Right.
Sexy. Keep going. Come on, Bogey. Get there, Bogey. Come on. Yeah. 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 Like a no doubt kind of type of. Vámonos. Vámonos. I'm getting too excited up here, man. Oh, man. I don't know if I can do this for 19 and
Yeah.
A taste of Big Poppy here today at Fenway. We dropped in for an inning as an analyst and reaching back to some great memories from championship seasons.
The one thing I didn't get the opportunity to tell him is the way I've been getting to the yard every time, I've been pounding the streets, and I'm going over David Ortiz Bridge. Come on.
Yeah. Just renamed in his honor as his number went up. Moreland 1 for 1 with an RBI single.
I mean, that's flexing your muscles right there. I mean, when you're sitting around some hot shots and maybe this car, that house, this boat, he has a bridge.
It's fitting because he's a bridge between 04, 07, and 13. All those championships. Pops out of the mid of Butera and a count 1-2 on Moreland.
Who kind of got lost in the shuffle with a beautiful RBI single.
It was his 45th. Needs a hot run. Tampa Bay with a 4-3 lead on the Yankees in the 5th. In the Bronx today. Into right field down the line, and that'll drop in. Bounce near the pesky pole. That's going to be 2 bases for Moreland. He's 2 for 2 today.
I don't want to seem like I know what I'm talking about, but when I brought up that fly ball to center, his first at bat yesterday, that helps me, but understanding what is on the line right there, and then going to his next at bat with that big walk. Then, you know, didn't really have the success, but you know what's coming. You know what's coming. You got to live for the next day, live for the next at bat, and you got to not ruin your swing, find your path, bottle it up, and go with it. And that's about as professional as it gets right there. And you saw what he can do the first month of the season. He came in with guns a-blazing and took over this place. So it's in there.
What did you feel you saw there? Because you mentioned at the time you felt like he was going to get going again. And, you know, start with the extra base hits that he rattled off in the first 2 months, you know, very routinely, as Vasquez looks at a strike.
Well, first of all, you just go to his resume. You got to know, like, what he's done. Like, right now, we don't know when Devers doesn't get hot, because he hasn't done it before, so he hasn't seen it. Mitch obviously has a resume of his career, but what he did that first month, we know it's in there. And this game is peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. So when you are in that valley, you got to get out.
Vasquez pops it up. Merrifield looking into that sun. That will retire the side, so nothing comes of the double. 1 left, and at the end of 4, Red Sox lead Kansas City 2-1. returns with fast-paced pick-up-and-play Major League action. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and your mobile devices. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Fifth inning coming your way. Johnny Gomes, Dave O'Brien, and Jemai Webster with you here from Fenway. Red Sox 2, Kansas City 1. And Butera lead off the inning for the Royals. Royal catcher is 0 for 1. And the top of the order, Merrifield and Bonifacio.
Drew was on that 15 team in the World Series. His job's kind of like backing up Brett Favre. You know, Perez plays every single day. And interesting, we'll see how it kind of plays out here. It's actually extremely risky to have your catcher and your backup or starting catcher DH. You know, Drew goes down with an injury, foul ball off his hand, foul ball off his neck, something. You're going to lose your DH in the American League.
That's right. Perez hitting out of the 5 spot as the designated hitter today, and Butera, the catcher, at least this afternoon, batting 9th. 3-1 foul tipped into the glove.
A day game. I mean, you obviously want to get him off his feet as much as possible with the extra innings and this and that, but man, that guy plays every single day.
Liner and a base hit past the diving Devers. So there's the 4th hit over the last couple of innings off Pomerantz as they're starting to reach him. And leadoff single for Butera. And Whit Merrifield will be next.
Just out of his reach.
So leadoff man is aboard in the inning, but a leadoff hitter in their lineup. He was hit safely in his last 4 games. He's 10 out of 23. This might be 2. Out there on the first and got him. Double play. Red Sox go around the horn to turn 2.
Pretty simple hop, pretty simple, easy charity hop for Devers right there. But sometimes those easy ones are the hardest. I'm sure he's still kicking himself from that throw he made last night, but it's good to see him bear down right there and just play catch.
Stay tuned after the 3rd out of this half inning for the mid-5th studio show at TC and Lenny. Bonifacio has whiffed and grounded to second. 2-1 Sox here. Bonifacio had a game-tying RBI single in the 6th inning last night, so he ran his hitting streak to 8 in a row, but hitless today, 0 for 2.
There's obviously a scouting report out there that's just nailing on a pitching coach, someone, but that elevated heater he's been struggling with the whole series.
Scouting reports, of course, on every hitter. They had them on you. How about when you went to a ball club? They used to try and get you out.
Yep.
Now you're on that team.
Yep.
You ever ask, like, hey, what was the book on me, by the way?
And I went right to them, and they would tell me. I mean, that was info I needed and wanted. And some ball clubs obviously had more success than others, but which was unique early in my career.
We'll touch on that in a moment as Nunez digs it. Pomerantz gives up a base hit, but then a double play. Let's toss it back to the studio here in the middle of the 5th inning. And TC and Lenny. Well, choose nothing but the best for your cookouts. Pick up select KM and Coca-Cola products today. Get a free package of hot dog buns, too. It's summer. Let's grill. KM. Devers to lead off here in the bottom of the 5th inning at the midway point. Red Sox head 2-1 over the Royals. Raphael today 0 for 1 with a double play ball.
How about a conversation last night about barbecue? Mouth is watering, late night, this and that. Crickets. David Ortiz sits in the booth and they bring lobster. Are you kidding me?
Lobster and fries as he was sitting down. I mean, he hadn't said a word on the broadcast yet. All of a sudden, a feast.
Yeah, like everywhere he sits down, there's lobster in front. Just par for course.
Yep. It does let you know where you stand, you know, if you're sitting around that.
Yeah, because he didn't even bat an eye at it. Like, duh, of course there's lobster.
Right.
You guys don't have lobster every single day up here?
Mookie Betts on deck. And Hamill with a 2-1. That one's socked toward the wall. Rising up, and it is maybe on that shelf. Is it gone? They're calling it a double. Into second base is Devers, but did it leave the ballpark? Did it get up and over that red line on top of that shelf? The Red Sox think it's gone.
That was a quick challenge.
Yeah, that's out of here. That's a home run. They're going to reverse this. Here's our wall cam.
Come on home, kid. Come on home. 2 homers. 1 to dead center and an oppo.
Fans out there on top of the wall saw that very clearly, pointing to the spotted bounce. It's got to go over that red line. It did. And the Red Sox are about to take a 3-1 lead. Fans reacting to another view. And it's a home run. Here he comes. His second major league homer. So the Sox on top 3-1.
I tell you, well deserved. I think some people are running to the team store and getting an 11 jersey.
Opposite field power. Well, he had 20 in the minor league, so give him 22 this season before the end of July. Mookie Betts 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. You were saying before we went to the break that, you know, you would ask about the scouting report on a team that had the book on you that you were traded to. One of the first things you wanted to know was, all right, what's in that report? How are you working me?
Yeah, I mean, that just comes with time in, you know. I mean, just I was a guy who wanted as much info as I could possibly get my hands on. But uniquely with this ballpark right here, it wasn't, you know, I came up in the alleys with Tampa 03 to 08. I was with them. And it wasn't until about year 4 or 5 I would come here and I would not get a pitch on the inner half. And then we travel over to New York and I would not get a pitch on the outer half. 4 years to figure it out. Hence why it's so important to have a guy like David Ortiz, have such important like Nooney coming in, the veteran, because they would have nipped that in the butt in a heartbeat. And with those 2 pitches, obviously with the short porch here and then the short porch in New York and right.
Cut on and missed, and Mookie with a rare double strikeout game. Well, for every Red Sox home run this season, Speedway donates $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Now through the end of July, use your Speedy Rewards card when you purchase any size fountain or frozen drink for 69 cents and get an entry code to win a VIP experience. Sends up Nunez. He has grounded out and been hit by a pitch. That allowed him to steal in the 3rd inning. His 19th stolen base this year. First with the Red Sox. Rips that one down the line. But a foul ball.
I mean, that barrel is just finding the ball off his bat right now.
Red Sox got a hot hitter when they picked up Eduardo Nunez in a deal from the Giants. He came into today with a 6-game hitting streak, and he's 14 for 25 in it. Time to see who's been driving the ball, presented by Toyo Tires. Hitting .560 during the streak with 2 home runs. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the Boston Red Sox.
Anytime your team, your organization has the opportunity to add to the big league roster without subtracting is a really good quality and a really good pickup.
One down in the 0-2. This guy's very, very happy to be in Boston. You could not knock the smile off his face when he arrived here. So I'm downstairs heading out of the field and said hello and chatted with him a little bit, but very happy to be in a pennant race. And that one outside. That's a great organization there in San Francisco.
Yeah, classy. I'll tell you a funny story. We actually came to the ballpark together.
You did?
In a cab. We're driving through the city, and people are waving, all this stuff, and he was like, "Man, they love you here." No, but they're waving at you. They're waving at you. That's how quick it happens. They will rally around you, buddy. And he had this grin on his face. It was like, wow. I said, "Oh yeah, keep driving the bus, buddy." And these fans definitely will rally around him. And I talk about the education of Sox Nation and the way he plays the game. Obviously, I mean, this guy's running out of his helmet. You can't help but appreciate the effort he's putting in day in, day out.
Late cut there. He goes down on strikes. So 2 down. Let's go down to Jemai.
Well, Dave, as you and Johnny were talking about, Dustin Pedroia out of the Red Sox lineup for the 2nd day in a row. His left knee is a little irritated, and it's flared up because of the extensive volume that he's played on it with. Red Sox manager John Farrell said these 4, 5-hour and extra inning games aren't helping his recovery, and that has made it hard for him to really get better at this moment. He also says that PD is available today, but that, of course, predicated on how this game goes, guys.
All right, Jemai, thank you. Benintendi 0 for 2. The length of the games is becoming a factor. The Red Sox have played 6 extra inning games in the last 30 days. And of course, we're talking about 15 and 16 inning games and being on your feet for the entirety. Games that have gone at times well beyond, the 5-hour mark, let alone 4 hours. Last night, 4:45.
Yeah.
Over and over. That's going to do some work on you.
Yeah, it was funny. I was talking to Craig Kimball last night. These closers are unique, quirky, kind of never know what's going to come out of their mouth here and there. And
sharply backhanded stab by Hosmer, and he'll get to the base to retire the side. But the Red Sox are on the board again. Devers goes top shelf, and it's 3-1 Boston. Kids can attend a game for free at Fenway when they sign up for Kid Nation. Free kids tickets available for the first 25,000 tickets redeemed. Visit redsox.com/kidnation and sign up today. Moving to the 6th. Johnny Gomes, Dave O'Brien. Lorenzo Cain to lead it off. Sox ahead 3-1. Cain has scored that run. A couple of base hits for him. He's having a fine season in the running for a Gold Glove as well.
I've gone out in Arizona. I stay in Arizona and gone to check on old Torey Lovello over there, managing the D-backs, doing a great job. And I take my kids to the ball game here and there. Speaking of kids, and here I go. Got my kids asking me to go to the D-backs game. And I'm a proud dad. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. They want to go to a game. Give them some cotton candy, eat the cotton candy. All right, we're ready.
Yeah. And that's the bottom of the first.
Yeah. What? They done tricked me to go to the game to get a bag of cotton candy, and then they're out of there.
Sure. Smart kids.
Can't blame them.
You're right about the Diamondback team of Tories. I mean, they've won 60 games. 60-44. Now, they're not going to win the division because they play in the Dodgers division. Dodgers on another winning streak, 7 in a row. And they've put that thing away with 13 games between themselves and Arizona. But the Diamondbacks are going to the postseason.
100%. And that's awesome for his first year. And it's well-deserved for Torrey. They got 3 guys on that team with the OPS over 1,000.
There's a shot to left center field. Jackie Bradley all the way back, leaping up, and he can't get it. It's off the wall. Cain can run. He rounds, heading into third, and the throw will not get him as he's in standing up with a triple, his 3rd hit today.
That's center field on center field right there, but wow. Oh, Ken Griffey Jr. right there running up the wall. Remember that play?
Oh, yeah.
That was a great effort.
It's again one of those when you saw him rising up, you expect him to make the play fairly or not.
We're so spoiled with him out there.
So a 3-bagger for Cain.
I know Johnny Damon did a great job out there. Els did a great job out there. But, I mean, with him putting his foot on the wall right there, knowing it's padding, even to get back there, he seems so familiar with the not familiar center field. I mean, that's a no-look plant on the wall. Hops right down, comes up, showcases that arm. He's got 2.
There's a couple of other guys I think of when I think of that padded wall out there. I think of Freddie Lynn, which is the reason why they put the padding up there. They didn't have it before, and Freddie slamming into that wall several times. The 0-1 pitch. And another guy we were talking about, you and I, when the 07 team was being introduced, Coco Crisp.
Oh.
Coco could play center field here.
Coco could play center, and it wasn't for a young, athletic, came in with guns blazing Jacoby Ellsbury to take his job. But Coco continued to have a great career. But yeah, he 100%, and he was not scared of the wall.
No, he hit it more than once. Hosmer has singled and struck out. Broken bat pop. 1 man away. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Plainridge Park Casino. TC and Lenny have a recap of the 07 World Champion Red Sox ceremony and preview the Cleveland Indians, who are coming to town. At the moment, Cleveland leading this Royals team by 3 games with a 9-game winning streak. They are down in the 5th inning. I should say leading in the 5th inning, 1-0 over the White Sox in a game in Chicago. Here's Perez. He is singled and he's been doubled up.
World Series MVP. They don't just hand those out.
Yes, Perez in the 2015 World Series for Kansas City. And he knocks it foul. Time of the unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. The probables for the upcoming Indian series. Doug Fister will go on Monday. Chris Sale on Tuesday, 13-4, and Rick Porcello on Wednesday. So the Sale day is Tuesday. A left-hander at 13-4, a 2.37 earned run average. Try to hold up. That's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. He wanted an appeal at first base, but a home plate umpire, Lentz, rung him up. And he's not a happy camper.
Can't get thrown out right here. He might.
And Dios coming to save him.
That'll bring him down to one catcher in emergency.
And Yost, of course, cannot say anything about balls and strikes there, or he will be ejected. I thought he went.
Whether he went or didn't, as a player, it is the most frustrating thing that happens in between the lines when the home plate umpire does not ask the first base umpire. And I mean, I don't want to, kick a horse when it's down, whatever, but he's got a lot on his plate. He's got to look at location. He's got to look at spin. He's got to, the count. Umpire's got a lot going on. And then now you're asking him to see if his barrel crossed the plate for a swing.
I agree with you.
I think that's just, you're not allowed. And it takes something off the home plate umpire. It's one less thing that he has to worry about.
It's another set of eyes, and probably a better set of eyes in that situation.
Sure.
From his angle. Escobar has gone 0 for, or did in his first at bat, drop down the sacrifice bunt, then he doubled.
Like that home plate umpire, if he checks the first base coach says yes, Perez walks to the dugout.
2 down, a man at third, and the Red Sox ahead 3-1. Kansas City looking to strike here in the 6th inning. That just missed. Two and two.
How about Escobar right here? 273 consecutive starts. What do you think Cal Ripken has to say about that?
I think a bit of a yawn, probably.
Wow. How about that record? 273 consecutive starts, leads Major League Baseball. That's an Iron Man now.
It's impressive. It's not Cal Ripken.
You're about 12 years shy.
Years. 2-2 hammered foul and knocks down the base runner Kane in foul territory.
It's the old country two-step right here. Whoop. It's not funny. I shouldn't laugh.
2-2, 2 down, a man at third. Pitch number 92, and a line shot caught by Devers, and Pomerantz gets out of the inning. So pitching around the leadoff triple. Red Sox up 3-1. reason why the Red Sox and the rest of America run on Dunkin'. Dunkin's iced coffee is consistently smooth and delicious. The Boston Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Bottom half of the 6th inning, Red Sox leading the Royals 3-1. The winner takes the series. Anthony Ramirez today with a base hit and a strikeout. Facing a guy in Jason Hamill that he's pretty well owned. One ball and one strike. Hamill's pitching line brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. Jackie Bradley on deck and the 1-1. In the right field, another base hit. So he's 2 for 3.
Two knocks for Hanley. I like to see it.
Very comfortable in there against this righty, isn't he?
He is. Sometimes that's what it takes.
So it'll be Jackie Bradley, who's gone 0 for 2, a fly out to left field and a fly out to center. Tampa Bay continues to lead the Yankees 4-3 6th inning. If the Yankees lose and the Sox win this one, Red Sox will go back into first place. Popped it up foul. They'll drift out of play for strike 1.
I mean, the NL Central is pretty tight with Chicago and Milwaukee, but when you're talking a half a game separates second versus first, when you go into the East where it's 12 games, you go in the AL West 17-game lead. You know, Tampa 4.5 back. They're every bit in it. It's every single game matters here in the AL East.
Ground ball, hard hit. Merrifield to Escobar, and that's a double play. Jackie Bradley double up, 2 away. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Jim Rice will have a recap of Major League Baseball's trade deadline and its impact on the Red Sox. How active will the Red Sox be as Xander Bogaerts will dig in, a base hit and a strikeout so far today.
Well, I think we got that expert panel coming up, right?
You're part of it.
Yes.
Looking forward to your expertise. And in your case, also, Johnny, what you're going to wear.
Yep. Something awesome. We can guarantee that. I don't know if Lobster will be there, though.
Well, if David Ortiz is there.
He's an expert at everything, at life.
David came in with a gigantic smile, and after spending some time with you, he left with a bigger one. Not to mention a couple of runs. Double hit foul there at home plate by Xander.
We did hit it off pretty well. I mean, you can't help at the end of the day to be kind of not starstruck by any means, but man, sometimes these superstars are bigger than life, and the way he makes player 1 to 25 comfortable and approachable and gets to your level, and you know, at the end of the day, we don't got anything in common on the hitting side. I mean, he's just so good, but the way he cares about everyone is special.
Escobar fires on, low throw, and a fine play by Hosmer. And John Farrell holding up a hand. Does he want to challenge this play? If it holds up, and it will, it's the end of the 6th, 3-1, Kansas City.
Hey everybody, I'm Jemai Webster. Red Sox leading the Royals 3-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. I'm here with Ole. He's from Revere. And Ole, right away, when Rafael Devers hit a home run, you and your dad were signaling to the Red Sox dugout. That ball was out of here. How did you know?
Because the blue marking from the ball was right on this part, and I know if it's over the red line, it's a home run.
Ole's been watching the Red Sox since he was 2 years old, guys, and he says that Devers is quite the prospect. What do you think about him so far, the 20-year-old kid at third base?
It's pretty good. I watched his first home run, and he hit another one today, and he's looking good.
He's making quite the impression. And Dave, Ole is 11 years old. In 9 years, you could be potentially playing in the big leagues. Devers, he's only 20.
Yeah, I could. I don't know.
All right, OB, we'll be looking for Ole in years to come. He's already making great calls here in Fenway.
Oh, boy. I love that. Yeah, I could. I could be there. That could be me. You're right. I love the baseball IQ, you know. Filed back by Gordon.
That's the flow of traffic if you're going to be a Sox fan.
And he knows the red line means it's gone. He identified the marking and knew it was his second home run. And that Ole.
That could have been TC and I up there doing
Could.
that.
Gordon on the day, a fly out, and he's been hit by a pitch.
That was cool, watching the game from the Green Monster.
Hit that way, racing back Benintendi on the track. He reaches up and snags it. Up into the line score for out number 1.
Again, a real difficult play that he just continues to make these little things look easy. That's a tough play. You'll see a lot of visiting players just take that right off the wall and think they do a good job by holding him to a single. How about the out?
One away in the 7th.
Well, you said it right there. I mean, Drew Pomeranz, he's done a heck of a job by going 6, and he's kind of always flirted getting into the 7th. And I think he would be extremely proud. Team would be proud. I'd be proud if he can finish this inning off and have that on his resume.
Today has stayed completely away from ball 4. Throwing a lot of strikes. Up to 100 pitches. Trying to get Torres for the 3rd time into the dirt. And he offered at it. That's a strike. Pomeranz pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket.
Yeah, this is so huge out of Drew. I mean, we can't forget what the bullpen did last night. And they're rooting for him more than anyone else in the ballpark tonight, that he can obviously get into the 7th and keep going. So this is a huge start for the ball club and for Drew and the bullpen.
Swing and a miss, and down he goes. He strikes out Torres. 2 fast outs here in the 7th.
He's got it all working. He does. Not a very competitive swing, but those are the guys you got to get out.
Brandon Workman loosening in the pen. Butera with a base hit and a pop-up. Red Sox going 10 innings last night to pull out a dramatic win. With Sandy Leon scoring in the last of the 10th inning on a ground ball snagged by Escobar, the shortstop, but a drawn in infield. When he threw to first base, Sandy Leon, after a bit of a hesitation, came scampering home. And I think scampering best describes his move at home plate to get around Butera and win the ballgame.
I'll go with scampering. Feather foot, light on his feet, twinkle toes, hook slide.
3-0 is high, and that's the first walk for him today. And here comes John Farrell. So he's got Workman ready to go. 106 pitches, and the fans beginning their applause for Drew Pomeranz. Oh, so solid today. In line for the win. Now John Farrell going to the bullpen here with 2 down, a runner at first base, and Merrifield at the plate. Workman tossing an inning and 2/3 of scoreless baseball with a strikeout against Kansas City on Friday through the 8th and got the first 2 outs in the 9th inning. And comes on here in the 7th inning. I think an idea of how valuable he is becoming in the eyes of John Farrell.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. What a great weapon for John Farrell just to hand the ball to this guy to close the 7th inning out. Says a lot about what he's had to do, what he's had to overcome to get back to where he is, and might even be a little bit stronger than 2013.
Line shot. That's headed for the corner. Benintendi will play it off the bounce off the monster into third base as Buter throwing to second and not in time. So Merrifield continues to swing. He's got himself a double, and they're on at second and third. So trouble here for the Red Sox bullpen. A bit of a hanger.
Yeah, a bit of a hanger. Good job getting it in by Benny, doing damage control. The hitter gets 2 bases. You want the runner to get 2 bases.
23 doubles for Merrifield. He's a fine hitter, and here's Bonifacio, who's gone 0 for 3, 2 down. Tried to hold up, but a strike.
There's that elevated heater again to him. Let's continue with that.
Better be careful with this guy, the rookie. He has an 8-game hitting streak. He laid on that one. Quickly 0-2.
Quickly 0-2, got him right where he wanted. But again, not too much play here. 0-2. If you even get in a jam, you got the base open. Obviously Kane on deck, but just not too much of the plate.
This Royals team is tough to shake. Big moment here this afternoon. Sox up by 2, but 2 men in scoring position for the Royals. Got him. Workman Blows away Bonifacio. 2 men left. Red Sox virtual reality and a virtual reality home run challenger, all available for your next event. For more information, email Red Sox Showcase at redsox.com or call 617-226-6900.
Yeah, as I was talking about, be careful with this guy. You got an 0-2 count. You got a base open, and Workman says, no, watch this. 1, 2, 3, good night. Look at my man right here. Picking his starter up. That's beautiful. Inherited runners stranded. Huge statistic for bullpen guys, and he had 2 of them right there.
And what a fine outing by Drew Pomerantz against a team that's really swinging the bats.
Yeah, he just buzzsawed right through this ball club.
Allowing just the 1 run. Well, Moreland has had a perfect day with a single and a double. He also has an RBI. Red Sox trying to make it back-to-back victories over Kansas City. Vasquez on deck, and then Devers, who's belted his 2nd home run in the big leagues today. Another one ripped and caught. Merrifield in the shift was way out there in right field to steal that hit. Time for a game break. Brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's TC. Tom, thank you so much.
TC's locked into all the games right now. He's locked into all the games.
Vasquez with an RBI single, and he's popped up, so 1 for 2. More activity in the bullpen. Matt Barnes, who worked last night. We also saw Craig Kimbrell last night in a long victory for the Red Sox. Red Sox have played easily more 4-hour games than any team in baseball.
I was telling the story earlier. I was talking to Craig last night and how closers are different breeds, especially minutes, hours after they pitch. The adrenaline, the rush, and all these. And Craig, we were talking, and
popped into center field. A little battle with the sun for Kane, but that's the second out.
And he was asking me, how many more games have we played than everyone? I was like, it's pretty much even all the way through. He goes, no, how many more games? Craig, what are you talking about? Because if you take our extra innings and parlay it into game, we literally have more extra innings parlayed into games than other ball clubs. Like, wow, Craig, you're on top of it.
I mean, he's had some games where, you know, he's come in and the game is well beyond the 5-hour mark.
Yeah.
So it was a long time since he went out to the bullpen.
I was joking around. I haven't seen him, you know, since Atlanta and stuff. And, hey, Greg, I haven't been watching many games. How you doing this year, bud? Everything feeling all right?
Evers with a fly ball into left field, and Gordon has that covered. Red Sox go 1-2-3 through 7, 3-1 Boston. Is brought to you by Toyota's website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball. Subaru Retailers of New England, supplying all-wheel drive vehicles with a passion for summer travels. Citizens Bank. Visit citizensbank.com. Plainridge Park Casino, 45 minutes from Boston. And by Ford Trucks. Built Ford Tough, the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Sox ahead on Kansas City 3-1. As we prepare for the 8th inning on this beautiful day, and it'll be Matt Barnes coming on. We're going to work the 8th inning and bridge it to Mr. Kimbrell. So he'll get Kane, Hosmer, and Perez.
That's the plan right there. We got to go through the top of the lineup right here.
A dangerous portion for sure. And Kane has not made an out today. He tripled his last time up.
He has not. It seems like they've had a guy a game. The other night it was Merrifield, and then Gordon was on every single time. Seems like they got a perfect guy a game. But Barnes got something to say about it right here.
Kane 3 for 3. And off the mitt high for ball 1. Last night marked the first time the Sox earned a walk-off win with an RBI ground out on a play to first base since August 8th of 1937 against the White Sox. And Jimmy Fox scored on a Ben Chapman ground out to second in the 9th inning of his 7-6 victory. Joe Castiglione was there, longtime radio voice of the Red Sox. He said it was a bang play.
That's unbelievable. Of course he was there. Remembers it like it was yesterday. That's beautiful.
Awfully close. It was close. Barely got him. And Joe was off to Shaw's for the deal on strawberries. And one of the all-time greats right there, my pal Joe Castig.
I bet he can keep score.
Oh my.
I'm still really frustrated. I'm glad I opened up to you though about my inner struggles. Gosh.
A lot of people found that fascinating. But as the ground ball is rattled to Bogaerts and he bobbles it. So Kane is going to be safe at first base to begin the inning. On a play that should have been made, that's going to be an error on Xander.
Yeah, just the transfer right here. Had to go across his body, I guess just didn't get the grip, but had to do a sidearm throw, and again the pressure that they apply with Kane and his speed coming right out of the box, you know it's got to be bang bang.
We'll bring up Hosmer, a base hit. He's also popped up and struck out. Sox have turned a couple of double plays on the day.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Kane, see if he wants to redeem himself about that big throw out last night, or if he's going to shut it down and say, I'm not running anymore against these guys.
They've finally caught stealing for the first time this year on the chuck by Vasquez. And an excellent tag, by the way, by Xander Bogaerts on that same play. And that's right through there for a strike.
Yeah, all around.
And the Red Sox also caught Terrence Gore, who's a speedster, on the throw by Sandy Leon.
Gore hasn't had much time in the big leagues, but I can tell you that's never happened. Kane and Gore getting thrown out in the same game.
Again, it's a reminder of Dave Roberts, 2004 ALCS against Rivera, brought into the game with the whole thing on the line to steal a base, and he does it. And you know, it wasn't the playoffs, it wasn't the Yankees, it wasn't 2004, but last night Gore came in to steal a base and was thrown out. Exactly what Dave Roberts did, and one of the biggest plays in the history of this franchise.
And it's an old franchise, and it is one of the biggest plays. And every time that man walks in this building, he gets a standing O, and it is well deserved. He's doing all right in LA.
Yeah, he is. With the Dodgers.
This is it right there. We're talking about Kids Day. This is an absolute clinic if you ever want to catch. Watch this over and over and over and over and try and manipulate that form. The way they come out of the crouch and the right hand goes right to their ear. Not that long arm, right to their ear, and it's just a cannon.
Obviously, you can't underestimate those two plays as the Red Sox needed them and went on to win in 10 innings by a run. Red Sox leading here in the 8th inning 3-1. But a home run threat at the plate and a man at first for the Kansas City Royals.
Some organization is going to be really happy to get this guy. Free agency here.
2-2. Hosmer has seen Barnes 4 times. He has 2 hits off him.
Seems like the new free agency motto type is that 30 years old. You know, the long-term deal when they get over 30. I think he's only 27 years old. He's still young. He's got a lot of upside still.
Really fine defensive first baseman too. Very slick. Oh, that one got Barnes. It ricochets. And everybody's going to be safe. And now we'll see if Matt is okay. And fastball came back even faster and off the body. And they're going to be safe at first and second. You heard the thud. Moreland with the fielding play, but no place to throw it. That'll be a base hit.
Yeah, we were talking about him as a possible deep threat. He's also got this in his bag too. Yikes.
Looked like it got part of his chest, didn't it?
It rolled all the way up.
So he's going to throw one or two and see if he can continue.
Yeah, those pitchers aren't used to balls coming 100 miles an hour at them. They're used to throwing the ball 100 miles an hour.
Barnes will stay in there, but some trouble now after the error in the infield single. And one of the most dangerous hitters about to dig in, Salvador Perez. He have 21 homers. He has singled, hit into a double play, and struck out today.
First and second, no outs. Got Perez up, and there's a big lefty lurking in the dugout that didn't start today, Moustakas. I think he's going to start stirring down there. If it gets down there, you got to be ready for him.
Now today at 6, don't miss the Ultimate Red Sox Show presented by AAA. TC's one-on-one interviews with John Farrell and Tom Werner, recapping Rafael Devers' debut and a lot more. Tomorrow at 6 only on Nesson. Nobody out. And ball one. And it's Hembry getting active in the pen. Escobar on deck. Getting a little tense here at Fenway with Sox on top 3-1. One ball and one strike.
Nice pitch right there. Similar to last night when they threw that 4 spot up there, it kind of all started with Devers throwing error, and then Bogey makes the error right there. And I was talking about the runs versus the unearned runs, so hopefully we can hide that error again.
Matt Barnes with a 1-1. Going with the heat at 95. 1-2. More strikeout here.
Strikeout here would be big. Although he has hitting a double play, that'd be double down.
Kane at second, Hosmer at first. And Matt Barnes with a 1-2. To the right side, through for a base hit. Kane coming around, up and gunning. Betts, he's going to go back to third base because of Mookie's arm, and they're going to be loaded up. But a single for Perez, and they're all filled up for Kansas City. Kane came around and went scooting back into third.
You see Kane coming around third right here, and he gets a late stop. That's dangerous sometimes. See him come all the way down. But there it is. Mookie Betts' arm showcased.
All sorts of trouble, though, and Carl Willis is marching out to the hill with Escobar due up.
This is deja vu last night. Base loaded, no outs.
This is a very difficult lineup to stop right now, isn't it?
This is it. This is what I talk about these guys. Is that's their identity. They're not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, although they got some guys with pop. But this is what you threat about the Royals. You don't really threat that 3-run homer. Although they got that in their bag too. But there's not many ball clubs that can run off consecutive 4, 5, 6 hits in a row.
Tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we'll save you time of the latest on Patriots special afternoon announcement and take a look ahead to the Major League Baseball trade deadline. NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Well, for the Red Sox, the Wolf is at the door. The bases are loaded with nobody out for Kansas City. They trail by 2. And Escobar does have a double today. He has also lined out to third base. So he's hit it hard a couple of times.
Yeah, he has. Another free agent for them.
Kansas City now at 10 hits. Eighth inning trouble and the 0-1. Scott and Hembry side by side in the Sox pen.
Robbie Scott did a great job last night. Great job.
It was a clutch performance by the lefty, just promoted back to the big club. The 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. An error, an infield single off the pitcher, and a clean single to right. And Kane, Hosmer, and Perez are filling up the bases for the Royals. A 2-1 from the righty. And a ball. Oof. Oh, so close, but off the corner, said Nick Lentz, a 3-1.
Thought he did a great job of framing that. I thought he brought it right back in there.
A hitter's count for Escobar. Bounding ball through for a base hit. Kane is in. Hosmer rounding, trying to score. Throw to the plate. He slides in and ties it. It gets by, so the runners are going to move up to second and third. And the ball game is tied as Escobar comes through with a 2-run single and 2 men in scoring position.
You know, you never really can get hurt down and out fastball, and you can tell that's what he's doing. He's going down and out heater, down and out heater. Obviously not going to pull it for the big grand slam, but really good hitters, you can't showcase them the same pitch too many times. It's 4 down and out heaters, and then right there with 5. You're gonna have to mix it up, change his eye level, mix in a change up, something a little different, sneak 1 inside. When you throw 5 pitches consecutive on the outer half.
Barnes roughed up for 3 consecutive hits after the error, and a brand new ball game. Back with more in a moment. Nobody out, infield in, second and third for the rallying Royals, who have just pushed across a couple of runs to tie it 3-3. And Gordon is the batter, and Moustakas is on deck, as you said he would be.
I knew he was lurking down there.
Gordon on the day 0 for 2, and he's been hit by a pitch. So now the Red Sox bullpen and Robbie Scott trying to keep the Royals from grabbing the lead. And socked toward the alley. That's into the gap. Nobody there. It'll bounce against the fence. 2 runs will score. Gordon churning around, heading into third. He dives in with a triple to make it 5-3 Kansas City. That ball was smoked.
That ball was smoked. Lefty-lefty matchup right there. Brought it in for that exact matchup. We got a runner on third, no outs. And I think they're going to tuck Moustakas back in there.
And they're going to save him now that they have a 5-3 lead. All right, Gordon attacking for RBIs 33 and 34.
I've said it, this ball club just doesn't bolt. They got 4 runs with no outs.
So Torres back up to hit. He's gone 0 for 3. So far a 4-run 8th inning for Kansas City, as they lead for the first time. They've out hit the Sox 12-7. It was very difficult for the Red Sox to shake Kansas City last night. Red Sox, in fact, had to rally a couple of times to win it. Boston had a 3-1 lead going into the inning with the bullpen unable to hold it. And down goes Torres for the first out in the inning as he strikes out.
Yeah, the boys did a great job all those innings last night of continuing to fight back. I was talking about they just kept tying it and couldn't take the lead, and it took 10 innings and they ended up doing it. So hopefully that goes over to today. These guys definitely know how to fight back.
Here's Butera. He's 1 for 2 with a base hit and a walk. And inside for ball. Mookie Betts, by the way, was charged with an error on the overthrow from right field. Bogart's also charged with an error. So the Red Sox have actually committed 2 errors in this inning.
Hence the earned runs versus the runs.
And the 1-0 from the lefty. Ground ball, run's going to hold. Bogart snatches this one up. 2 down with Gordon holding at third base. Looking for some new team apparel? Will enter the People's United Bank leading off giveaway for your chance to win a $100 gift card to the team store on Yawkey Way. Visit NESN.com/leading off before every game to get the latest news on the hometown team. People's United Bank, what know-how can do. John Farrell out again. Wants a right-hander. That'll be Hembry for Whit Merrifield. The Red Sox trying to get out of this inning. It's taken a while. Kansas City has scored 4 times. They lead at 5-3, and we're back at Fenway with more in a moment. Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. On a sunlit day at Fenway Park, Red Sox are suddenly looking up at Kansas City 5-3. Bullpen is getting knocked around here after the leadoff error by Bogaerts. It's gone single, 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 triple. And now 2 down as Hembree enters the contest, and he will get Merrifield, their leadoff hitter, who's gone 1 for 4 this afternoon.
Yeah, any way to get this guy out would be ideal. It's just going to ask for a base runner, then a possible homer. Anytime you just have one base runner with the opportunity to tie the game in these next 2 innings. Sometimes that third run is really difficult to get.
Gordon at third. And Merrifield becomes the 8th man to hit in the 8th. He starts him off with strike 1 and a curveball. 2007 Red Sox honored before today's game. Red Sox team that won the American League East with a 96-66 record. Then beat the Angels, the Indians, and the Rockies. Driven to right field on his horse Betts, fighting the sun. He'll make the play. He caught it back there to keep it a 2-run deficit as we go to the bottom of the 8th. All of Cooperstown, New York on its Hall of Fame weekend and offer congratulations to this year's award winners and the 2017 National Baseball Hall of Fame inductees and their families. Bottom half of the 8th inning, Red Sox facing a 2-run deficit. Mauer, the right-hander, out of their bullpen to face Betts, Nunez, Benintendi. Red Sox with work to do. Mookie today 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts and a tapper to second base. And a breaking ball that misses.
They got their work cut out. 2 runs to tie and 1 to get the whole thing. But top of the lineup right here. Manufacturer.
Fouled back and right under us. Johnny, you were lined up for it. You were leaning over. I know you judged it was going to be short, but
it was on my mind. It was on my mind. And that's half the battle.
Heading your way. 2-2. Toward that hole. Merrifield throwing off balance, and he launched it. Butera knocked it down to hold him at first base, but the Red Sox have the leadoff man on. That'll be a base hit.
Leadoff on, crucial. Applying pressure right there, running down the baseline.
Hosmer doing everything he can going airborne. Butera did a nice job to back it up.
Yeah, that's what it is right there, and that definitely saved a 90 feet right there.
Gave up his body on it.
Yeah, it's good fundamental baseball right there.
So it'll bring up Nunez. 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch today. Stay tuned for the post game and a look back on a very memorable day. TC will have all the details of our visits with both David Ortiz and Mike Lowell in our broadcast booth. It was a whole lot of fun.
Surrounded by greatness. That was awesome.
Nunez trying to extend a hitting streak. It's at 6 in a row. And the count 0-2. Eduardo Manning second base today. Second day in a row that knee is still barking at Dustin Pedroia. So out of the lineup. He is available, however.
Sure.
John Farrell said before the game.
Got to be careful at home playing from behind, but it would be nice to see a little pressure from Mook to go ahead and take this bag and take advantage of Perez not being behind the plate as well.
Popped up. Right back through the shadow. Butera made contact with the umpire but makes the play. One down. Benintendi next. Stay right here after the third out for a special behind the scenes look at what happens in between innings. Benintendi has gone 0 for 3. He's grounded to first twice. In between, he has struck out. Red Sox are down 5-3.
Not a bad time for that sweet swinging lefty right here.
Driven to right field. Bonifacio is out there and makes the play for the second out. You can get expert emergency care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center at Fenway, located behind Section 12. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is the official hospital of the Red Sox. Visit bidmc.org. Hanley slowly walking up. He has 2 hits today. Those were against Jason Hamill, the starter for the Royals, who can win it. Did he hold up? He did. That is ball 1.
I'm sure him and David had a nice conversation today too. Like he was talking about there was David right in the batting cage.
Another check in at 2-0, and out comes Butera for a conversation with Mauer.
Yeah, he's going to run out there and say, go ahead and continue to stay out there. Do not make a mistake to this guy.
However, if he walks him, it puts the tying runs aboard. And Jackie Bradley on deck. Kimbrel loosening. Red Sox rallied twice from 2-run deficits last night to win in 10. And a strike. Popped him up in the short right field, and now onto the dirt Merrifield to retire the side, so nothing comes of the leadoff hit. We move on to the ninth. 5-3 Kansas City, and don't go anywhere as we stay in the park. To the ninth inning here at Fenway. Our game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Hamill very strong for Kansas City. Didn't walk anybody. He can win it. Pomeranz 6 2/3, an earned run. Walked only one man. So both starters were really good. Red Sox bullpen allowing the 4 runs in the 8th inning. Inning that started with an error by Xander Bogaerts. So it went haywire there. Kansas City rallying and now leads at 5-3. Bonifacio has gone 0 for 4, 2 Ks.
It's deja vu of last night. The error parlayed into 4 runs. It was at the 3rd time in 3 games they scored 4 runs in an inning.
A sign of a good ball club. Capitalizing.
They're making a push.
Royals, of course, have been that. They just had a 9-game winning streak snapped by the Sox just after midnight.
Yeah, it says a lot too about the Sox beating them last night. When the team's rolling, they're not going to play like this for the rest of the time. I mean, they're going to hit a little slide, of course. There's plenty of time, but when this steam engine's coming in to beat them just that one game, that's good. But if we can get the series.
2-2 on Bonifacio. Kane on deck. Kane's had a big day with 3 hits, and he reached on that error by Bogaerts in the 8th inning and came in to score. Foul on a play. The first thing I thought about today when I woke up, started my way to the ballpark, was when Johnny got back to the hotel, was the late night menu still available?
Yes, it was. Luckily, because I got to feed the machine. I get hangry. I get very hangry.
I know from whence you speak. And a 2-2, ball 3. So menu is open. What did you go with?
I'm a die-hard, actually borderline a connoisseur of chicken wings.
Is that right?
Yes. My wife's from Buffalo.
We had a lot of rib talk, which generated quite a bit of conversation.
Yes.
Yesterday. Where do you like your ribs? What's your favorite city for ribs? I didn't realize you were a wing man as well.
Love wings. Love wings. I've had what we call the boneyard, which is a mountain of bones. And then you look at it and you're like, oh wow.
Like that entire family was quite hungry.
The whole flock.
3-2 into the dirt. Tried to check. They do appeal, and that is a swing and a miss for strike 3. So down goes Bonifacio. He fans for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, you see a check swing right here. I think he did go. It was a late check. I thought they had it early. But what you're going to see is a lot more check swings. What's coming into play right now is the hardest thing in the game, and that's the shadows. And that's when home plate is dark and the mound is light. So right when that ball hits the tip right in front of the batter, and it's going to continue to grow like that, it's very difficult to pick up spin, very difficult to hit off speed. Hence another check swing just like that. That was a ball right out of his hand, and it was still a check swing. It's difficult to generate offense with shadows.
Kane with 3 hits. We're in the 9th inning. CVS Health is investing $50 million over 5 years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives, moving us one step closer toward a tobacco-free generation. Learn more at cvshealth.com/be-the-first. 1-2.
You know, it's always interesting. Obviously, this is a day game starting, but you see the shadows the most in the playoffs when you have those unique 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock starts that they're not accustomed to, the ballpark's not accustomed to, and you get shadows like this, and then of course you get the ace of a team who's in first place. Shadows in the playoffs are extremely difficult.
See them all over baseball.
Yep.
Every park, because everyone's playing day games at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, you just hope your team's really good so then you can get that primetime game where it's late. I've played in some horrific shadows in huge ball games. And it is 100% a handicap.
2-2. Hosmer on deck. And this particular part of the lineup has been brutal today. Kane with 3 hits. Hosmer has 2. The man behind him, Perez, has 2. And Escobar has 2. So right through the 6-hole. Here's Jackie Bradley lining that one up. 2 down. Let's go back to the 8th inning.
Yeah, back to the 8th inning. I mean, this is what this ball club does. As soon as it sniffs a little crap right here, I'm telling you, their whole dugout lights up. And then here we go right here with 2 RBIs. I'm not sure if Mookie should have got this error or not, but again, it advances another 90 feet too, which is going to take out the double play, which creates Gordon going in the gap and get some more runs.
They would score 4 times. And the game flipped as they took a 5-3 lead.
It happened quick.
So in the bottom of the 9th inning, Red Sox will bring up Bradley, Bogaerts, Moreland. Hoping for another comeback in this one, similar to last night. Red Sox got a really fine pitching performance out of Drew Pomeranz, 6 2/3, just 1 run. He was on point. Into the dirt to make it 2-1. But the Sox have been held to 8 hits. Two and 1 on Hosmer. Tried to drill the inside corner, but came up empty.
It's a nice pitch. If you're going to go in the inner half to him, miss inside. It's a great location.
Understand that Adrian Beltre has just ripped a double for his 3,000th career hit off Wade Miley. 2 former Red Sox.
Pretty fitting that it was a double. I'm sure he's going to be chasing that record down too.
So congratulations to Adrian Beltre on his march to Cooperstown on the weekend that a new class goes in. 5 years after he retires, he'll be heading in.
Yep. You can book that.
3-2 to Hosmer. Fouled off. Tomorrow 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC and Jim Rice preview the Cleveland Indians series. DCU is Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? And stay with us for the post-game show right after this one concludes. If you missed both David Ortiz and Mike Lowell separate innings in our booth, we're going to review that. Guy's going to take a look back. It was a lot of fun. Ranging Nunez, cross body, got him. Side retired. Red Sox need 2 to get even. It'll be Bradley, Bogaerts, Moreland in the bottom of the 9th. Is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Bottom of the 9th inning coming up from Fenway Park. Sunshine and shadows here late in the day. By the way, one further note on Adrian Beltre. He becomes the first Dominican-born player to reach 3,000 hits.
Wow.
So a historical day. Herrera out of the bullpen now to take on Jackie Bradley, Xander Bogaerts, Mitch Moreland. Red Sox down 2. Jackie today 0 for 3. 2 flyouts and a double play ball.
Again, with these shadows, it's really difficult to pick up off speed, but you can rely on the heater, and that's what this guy does throw.
In for a strike at 96.
Still a little bit of a handicap, but more of the off speed is what is the toughest part to hit. Pretty good pitch.
97, but a ball. And ball 3.
Be patient right here. Swinging a pitch that you know you can drive. Something you got a lot of plate of. Put your A swing on this pitch right here. If not, you can give him a strike and ball 4.
High chop, but a foul. Time for a look at the road ahead, presented by People's United Bank. Sox about to entertain Tito and the Indians, coming to town for 3. They right now the hottest team in the big leagues. And then the Chicago White Sox coming in. Jackie inside in ball 4. So the Red Sox have the leadoff man on. And a tying run coming up to bat in Xander Bogaerts.
And that leadoff walk. To apply a little pressure right here. Get moving on these bases. I want to see Jackie run.
Xander with a base hit. His first time up. He's also struck out and grounded out on the day. 5-3 Kansas City, bottom of the 9th. He'll take one down low, and Butera wants to pay a visit here. Meanwhile, they have gone to the 9th inning at Yankee Stadium. Tampa Bay leading the Yankees 5-3. Keep an eye on that. Red Sox right now half a game behind the Yankees. As we close in on August, you see Xander 2 for 4 against this right-hander. Fly ball right center. Kane. He's got it. 1 down. There could be some changes coming here to Yawkey Way. NESN is going live for the trade deadline. TC will be joined by an expert panel with the latest news here in Boston and around the majors. Don't miss NESN's Major League Baseball trade deadline special tomorrow afternoon at 3:30, or stream it live on NESNGO.com or on the go with NESN Go app. Mitch Moreland now to single and a double today. He's also lined to second. He's had some very good swings.
Sure has. I'll say too, not only did I see it coming, you know, I saw him getting in a groove, saw him taking balls, swinging at strikes, but being down in the batting cage, I mean, this dude, he's had sweat on his forehead from the time he walks in till the time the game starts. He's definitely put the work in.
One and 1. Vasquez next. 5-3 Kansas City. Their big inning, a 4-run 8th to overtake the Red Sox. He checked it, and it's 2-1.
2-1, got himself in a nice hitter's count right here.
Good numbers against Herrera, 3 for 7 with a double.
The live arm out there.
Got to get started quickly.
Yep. Another off-speed pitch.
2-2.
Back-to-back changeups right there, showing Mitchell a lot of respect.
And Herrera's 2-2. He wouldn't bite. Another one at 97.
See if we get the runners in motion right here.
Man on at first base and Jackie Bradley. We'll see if he is on the move. Vasquez waiting his turn. And out comes Butera again.
It's a good meeting by Butera. That's understanding, knowing exactly what's on the line right here. They're obviously not on the same page. Going out there and work it out.
Now the 3-2. Got a piece of it. Big Sunday afternoon crowd. Hoping to go home happily here today. Stay on top of the latest Red Sox news with NESN's free text alerts. For breaking news to in-game updates. To sign up, text Red Sox to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. Cut on and missed. He is retired on strikes and a 2 away. So Herrera puts away Moreland, and that'll bring up Vasquez.
This is about as well located as you can get a pitch, and then you can just go ahead and hang 98 on it. It's extremely difficult. Sometimes you got to tip your hat.
Vasquez 1 for 3, an RBI single in the second inning, trying to keep this game alive. Devers to the on deck area. And ball one. And he's not overly sharp. He's thrown 16 pitches, only 7 for strikes.
Yeah. You got that velocity behind it, though. You'll get those chases. Taking over for old Wade Davis, who's in Chicago now.
The strike in 98. Five runs on 12 hits for the Royals, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors for the Red Sox. Attempting to rally, the leadoff walk by Jackie Bradley, but then 2 fast outs. And now it's 1-2. Red Sox welcoming back the 2007 World Championship team today. So the day began on the right foot. 1-2 coming. Line shot, base hit. Jackie Bradley to second base as it rolls to Bonifacio, and Red Sox are still alive. First and second for the kid, Rafael Devers.
Vasquez has some big hits this series. It's good to see.
Jackie able to stay clear of it.
Yeah, staying clear right there. Obviously, it hits him. He's out. You know, you got to get out of the way.
Yeah, it hits him. The ball game is over.
Ball game is over. You got to get out of the way.
So intrigue at Fenway. 20-year-old Rafael Devers, who hit his second major league home run just over the red line on top of the monster in the 5th inning, will step in. Runners go, and it's a double steal.
That's what I'm talking about.
So the Sox have the tying runs in scoring position.
That's so good. On the same page. You got the catcher stealing on the backside. That's awesome. Huge hit right here. This place will go bananas.
2-0. Back to his home run in the 5th. Originally ruled a double. But some umpires up top, Ole was one of them, pointing to the spot. Eventually, they made it a homer. Oh, he attacked it. Wow. A 97-mile-an-hour fastball, 2-1.
That's it. You see that load and that top hand going right there.
Remember in Seattle, he took a swing like that, fouled one off. Next pitch, he got a heater.
Gone.
Home run to center.
Adjustments on the fly.
3-1. Mookie Betts on deck. Joe Kelly and Chris Sale among the very interested observers. Hitters count. He walked him, and the bases are loaded. Dave Island heading for the hill. Mookie Betts headed for the plate. This has gotten downright fascinating suddenly.
This is it. Give something for those 2007 champs to check out. I mean, David back in the box.
I have had that thought. Mookie Betts today, 1 for 4 with an infield hit. That was in the 8th inning. No place to put him with 2 down in the bottom of the 9th. Sox down by 2. Brock Holt now running.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you can't win them all. You know, a loss is a loss, but when you're in the bottom of the 9th, you have an opportunity to walk it off. You know, you put the ball game together.
Brock Holt running at first and representing the winning run. 1 strike on Betts.
I think the shadows are taking a break from us too. That could be a good thing.
Butera has made several visits in this inning because there have been 2 walks. He's thrown 26 pitches, Herrera had, and only 12 for strikes.
I mean, I'm all for the catcher going out and talking, but 4 or 5 times in an inning, you got to clean that up.
Jackie Bradley, Christian Vasquez, and Brock Holt filling them up. And right through there to make it 1-2. Red Sox are down to their last strike. Bases loaded, 2 down. And he popped him up. Kane cruising in, and that'll do it. The rally falling short here this afternoon. Kansas City wins the series. TC final today 5-3.